So these windows are in a real problem state. Obviously the paint's flaking away. We need to sand that back so as we get a good sound surface for the paint to stick to. We're going to use a sanding block here with some sandpaper. Just one tip is actually when you're working edge to edge with the glass is make sure that you don't actually rub the sanding paper on and scratch all the glass. So I'm going to actually just keep my finger a little bit proud as I come up to the edge, and therefore we won't have a problem with that.
When preparing your windows, you may also opt to use a mechanical sander.
So I rub this window frame back, so obviously to bare timber, so I need to use a primer, and in this case I'm using the Santex High Performance Primer Undercoat. It's important that you use a primer when you get back to bare timber because it will enable the paint to get a grip and key onto the surface. In this case I'm using white because I'm going to be painting it with white gloss, but we also do a grey primer undercoat, and that's ideal for when you want to paint with a black gloss or a darker colour, and that's your primer undercoats. So I'm going to show you how to paint a wooden window frame. As you can see, we've already used a white primer here. That's because I'm going to use the Santex Exterior White Gloss. Once it's primed and it's dry, then I'm going to actually just slightly denib it down, just to take any of the bits away. And a good tip is actually use a dry brush, just to take any of the dust particles that are there. And then when I'm actually ready to paint, as you can see, I've just braced the window open. That'll allow me to just paint in the recesses before I can then start actually on the frame itself, starting from the top, working the way down. So let's start painting.
To prevent the paint from running, be careful not to overload your brush. It's a good idea to use masking tape around the edge of the windows so that no paint ends up on the glass. This means that you can actually get a nice sharp edge.
So there we have it. We've painted our Santex Exterior Gloss onto the window. Looks good, doesn't it?